take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. It's time!
It's Sunday, May 9th, 2021. This is the Church of MMA podcast. My name is Tabor Cragen.
My name is Mason Knight. This is episode 73, Waterson versus Rodriguez recap. After that, we jump to some MMA news, and then we talk about UFC 262 preview show. But before we do all that, Tabor, where do we begin?
With our social media accounts, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, at the Church of MMA. Guys, if you aren't following us already, make sure you go and do it. We are posting funny memes, clips of the show every single day. Hit us up.
Yeah, check out our YouTube channel too, guys. If you guys are watching live right now, be sure to smash that subscribe button. Smash the like video or whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. Almost up to 1,000 subscribers on our channel. That'll be really cool because we'll get a community page. Tabor makes memes, so he'll be dropping memes on there all the time. We'll be doing polls. So a lot of things in the works. Really excited.
Can't wait for the future.
We have to add this new addition real quick. Okay, are we ready for this? Can we go to the producer cam, please? If I do say so myself, welcome.
You're looking good.
Hey, this is what I'm talking about. It's good to be on camera. I don't like just sounding like God in the corner.
I'm not going to lie. That was the highlight of the show.
That's true.
You know, when you get
what? It might be worse that I'm on camera.
the views just start tanking.
I have a voice for radio, not the face for it.
I don't give a fuck. Oh, just in the words of Dana White. All right, Mason. I think it's time.
Yes, it is.
We always start at the top. Recap show. Marina Rodriguez, Michelle Waterson. Oh, my goodness. Dude, okay, so obviously this was not the main event. We've said this multiple times. This is not the main event we wanted. It's not the one we were hyped for. But it was the main event we deserved, I would say. Jeez, what a fucking fight.
And you know what? Like, let's be honest here. Let's be real. We were not overwhelmingly excited about this main event. But these two ladies showed up and put on a phenomenal 5 rounds. I had so much fun with this main event, dude. They put on a show, both of them. And, dude, the karate hottie, man. I mean, she's as tough as it gets.
Yes,
Rodriguez.
back-to-back wars, dude, because the Angela Hill fight was a war in itself.
Yep.
It's just crazy, man.
It was.
They were fucking trading.
Yeah, props to both Marina Rodriguez and Michelle Waterson. I mean, they put on a main event that we all deserved and a great fight. I would have to say probably fight of the night, too.
Oh, without
unquestionably
a doubt.
For me. This is definitely top 3 best women's fight this year.
How did you score the fight? Did you have it 2-2 going into the 5th? Or were you of the thinking that Marina Rodriguez was... So I'm sorry, what?
4-1.
4-1. So Marina Rodriguez won the first.
And that's coming from a guy who picked Michelle Waterson to win the fight. I thought Rodriguez was landing more combinations. The karate hottie looked great, and those kicks, man. Even the front kicks and stuff looked beautiful, perfectly timed, and those side kicks, to the body looked great. And she landed a few of them. She hurt Rodriguez in the 3rd and 4th round.
She's so good at throwing that oblique kick to the leg. To the top of the thigh, and she landed it multiple times. And like you said, the side kicks, dude. The way she was controlling the distance with her fucking long, powerful legs, every fight she impresses me with her kicks. She uses them so much. She uses them in such different facets. I loved everything I was seeing from the karate hottie. She was just getting pieced up with the hands. Yeah. Marina Rodriguez's hands are just too good. Like, I don't see a lot of strawweights being able to outstrike Marina Rodriguez right now.
Yeah.
Maybe a Rose Namajunas, maybe a Zhang Wei Li, power punchers like that, or maybe even a Jessica Andrade. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'd love to see those matchups, but it's just her hands might be some of the best hands I've seen in a long time on 115 pounds.
Interestingly enough, too, this fight was at flyweight. Did you notice that?
Yes.
Did you catch that? And I wonder if that had to do with Dana White going, okay, now you guys are the main event. Mm-hmm. This is obviously 2 additional rounds. So what we're going to do is we're going to have this fight at flyweight. And then you guys are going to be able to, obviously not cut that weight, so you have 2 more rounds.
Yeah, and that's probably why it took so long to announce this fight. Like, we all knew that was the main event they were going to do, but it didn't get announced, I think, till like Wednesday or Thursday or something like that. So those negotiations must have been ongoing with both girls, and I'm actually glad they did it at 125.
Yeah, so
because a short notice fight, and you're still cutting weight to 115 pounds. That's a lot. That's asking a lot from a fighter.
If you're not training for that 5 rounds, for those championship rounds, that can eat at your cardio. So the fact that they didn't have to cut down, I really did enjoy that. But we got to talk about Marina Rodriguez looking like the bigger girl out there.
Oh,
like
she's long.
She's
very long and lanky.
Yeah, dude. She looked just bigger than Michelle Waterson. But again, Waterson held her own and just A great fight. A great fight. I know I keep going back to that, but wow.
Yeah, Michelle's one of these girls that, I wouldn't say she's small for 115 pounds, but I mean, she did used to fight at 105. There is no 105-pound division in the UFC, obviously, atom weight. But she's been calling for that, and it's like, who would she fight? It'd be her and Laura Sanko essentially fighting each other every time. The way she hangs around with these bigger girls, man, just so much credit to the Karate Hottie, because it's just the heart she shows in every fight.
Yeah.
Like, think about it, the Joanna fight, then the Angela Hill fight, and now this fight. Like, what a fucking warrior she is.
She definitely is a warrior, unquestionably.
It's super impressive.
My question, though, now at 14-1-2, where does Marina Rodriguez go next in this division, in this flyweight division?
That's a good question. I don't know. I mean,
Because before that fight, she was 6.
yeah. So, obviously strawweight, right? We're talking
Yep,
strawweight. So, I mean, who was she originally supposed to fight? Was this a last-minute fight, or was this a fight that was made? No, I believe that was the Rebos fight, actually. Rebos was supposed to fight Michelle Waterson. This was months ago. And then Rodriguez stepped in short notice for that fight, finished Rebos, and then got this big fight. So, I mean, Michelle Waterson was 9 in the world. You know what? This is actually a name, and unfortunate for her because she is coming off a loss. But I think this would be a great fight for her, especially if she did get the win. Nina Nunes.
Really? Are you talking about for Marina Rodriguez?
For Marina Rodriguez.
Wow, I would actually, I'd have to go higher, man. I'd have
She's
to
6.
go. Yeah, no, she's 6 in the world right now at strawweight.
Oh,
so,
I didn't realize that. I
Yeah,
thought she'd
man.
be lower than Michelle Waterson. That's why she was the A side. That's why she was red corner. Okay, so then you got to do it.
Esparza.
No. Because she's already fighting Yao on now. So if she wins that fight.
Is that fight announced?
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
It's already on a card.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it's already happening. I think it's on a
So then you got to
pay-per-view.
go Mackenzie Dern.
Or and she did call her out, Joanna Jędrzejczyk.
I know,
Dude,
but
don't tell me you wouldn't want to see that.
It's not that I wouldn't want to see it, but I mean, come on. We all know who Joanna is going to fight next.
Zhang. If they don't do the immediate rematch.
Yeah.
Which is, Dana said he wanted to do that.
Yeah, but I'd almost rather see Jan Zenon, Carla Esparza winner take on Rose Namajunas. I like that.
Yeah, I do like that as well.
Because, dude, you can put that Joanna and Weili Zhang fight on anything, and you're going to sell mass tickets to that. You're going to sell mass pay-per-view buys. That's going to be a fight that sells. It was one of the greatest fights in UFC history, period. Outside of gender, does not matter. I'm going to sign up for that. I don't care if that headlines a pay-per-view non-title fight, those two fighting at the main event.
I'd pay for it.
I'll pay $70 for it.
I swear to God, I'd pay $70 if Triller decided to do this fight and they had 17 concerts on it and it was just that.
I would bear through those shit concerts just to watch this rematch.
I would do it.
Yep.
I would do it. I mean, that's the fight I would like to see, but it just depends. I mean, don't get me wrong. If they did Zhang Weili versus Joanna Jędrzejczyk too, like, sign me the fuck up, like we just said. Right. So she says Marina versus Suarez. This is Ant W. Shout out to Ant W. He was fucking so involved last week.
Yeah,
and he's here from the beginning as well. So shout out Ant W. I love that fight, actually. Because Tatiana Suarez is going to need a top 5 matchup the second she comes back. She's been out for so long.
Where is she, though?
That's a good question.
We haven't heard anything.
And she hasn't made any announcements on her Instagram or anything like that she's ready to fight or not. I have no idea. I know she's training.
Yeah. I'm not opposed to that fight. It's just like we have no idea. It's kind of the Zabit situation where it's like, where the hell is Zabit? Where the hell is Yair? Where the hell is Tatiana?
I have no idea.
No idea, man. So, I mean, I do like that matchup, but again, like, you kind of got to throw that out until we know what the hell's going on with
I'm going to say it. This might be controversial, but I think Tatiana Suarez might be the best strawweight in the entire world.
I don't think that's controversial, but I think, actually, the more I think about it, I listen to Ariel's podcast every week, and I think like 2 weeks ago, he said that she had another setback. She had some sort of an injury with her eye or something like that.
I remember it was something with her neck at first.
At some point,
it was super serious. This was like 2 years ago, and then it's just been lingering injury after lingering injury. So only want the best for her because, I mean, she is a
wanna see her
fucking
back.
savage, dude.
Yeah.
Literally, they compared her to Khabib. They compared her to every great wrestler that's ever been in the sport, which is very, very high praises. So I would, Marina versus Tatiana Suarez. Why the fuck not?
Yeah.
Mackenzie Dern's probably not going to take that fight.
No.
I mean, I'd love to see it. Like, let's be real. Actually, might be a great matchup if Suarez isn't coming back. So yeah, either Mackenzie Dern, Joanna Jędrzejczyk. It has to be someone above her, right? She deserves that.
Yeah.
She deserves that?
Absolutely deserves that, unquestionably.
Yeah. Now, what do we do with Michelle Waterson?
I think it's one of those things. The Karate Hottie sells. I don't think her stock goes down dramatically in this fight. You know, obviously she was fighting a higher ranked opponent here with her being 9 and Rodriguez being 6. But as far as what we do, I mean, she's still a top 10 fighter in my opinion. I mean, you can match her up with Claudia Gadelha if she doesn't have a fight. Tisha Torres would be a good one at 10.
Oh, yeah. That'd be a good striking matchup.
Tornado.
That'd be a great striking
Tiny
matchup.
Tornado. I like that one.
Yeah, even a Rebos or a Hill rematch because that fight was so tightly contested.
Hey, Hill's looking for... Well, yeah, but yeah, Waterson isn't going to get cleared in 2 weeks because Angela Hill is looking for a fight
and let's talk about fucking Marina Rodriguez's jaw. Dude, did you see the swelling at the end from that head kick? They even said, no, don't let her do an interview.
But then... So she must have got medically cleared to have the post-fight interview because she did one. But you are right. Yeah, like DC couldn't have a interview with her or anything. The doctors wanted to take a look at her jaw. But I guess she's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, if she's able to do the post-fight, didn't have to go to the hospital. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, I'm very glad with that.
She might have to take some time off.
Dana said they're seriously considering making a 105-pound division. Michelle would be the face of that division 100%. And Laura Sanko would definitely come out of retirement for that. And nothing would make me happier than to see those.
But I think, obviously, you know, I don't know how the division would shake out, but I would say Waterson would probably be the champ at that division. You know?
It's like, if we're going to do 105 and build that division, why are there all these fucking rumors of them getting rid of featherweight? Like, if we're gonna build these divisions, let's actually commit and build these divisions. Don't just do some one-off fucking fights.
The only issue that I see with featherweight is it's like you have the most dominant women's fighter in the history who has that belt right now. So it's really hard to make that division, you know, or build that division rather.
Yeah, so it's difficult. It really is difficult when you start talking about these lower weight classes, especially in the women's divisions. Because one, I mean, the lack of talent. You know, we have organizations like Invicta that are building up a lot of these girls, but the talent is still in the building phase, I would say. We're almost there for the elite of the elite coming, and then everyone in the top 15 is elite. So I'm just excited for the future with all of these divisions. Let's go into our church coin bets. I think we've been on this long enough. I put 1,000 church coin on Marina Rodriguez.
Nice.
And I'm very glad I did because that gave me a nice little net return of 426 church coin.
Yeah, she was a pretty heavy favorite there. I put 200 on Waterson just because I like the karate hottie. Lost that one.
Absolutely. We did not bet on this next fight, but we have to talk about it. The co-main event of the evening, Donald Cerrone versus Alex Morono.
Oh, come on. No, you know what? I can't myself. I know, but I can't have you keeping doing this to legends of the sport. Look, bro, I'm going to take the fucking fart noise off the board because I cannot stand the disrespect from these future Hall of Famers like Chris Weidman, like Donald Cowboy Cerrone. We got to stop with the fart button for that.
It's just too much fun.
I know. Donald Cerrone, a bit on a skid. He's 38 years old. And obviously the question coming out of this was, should he retire after this fight? And yes, I know you are on that bandwagon.
Yes, absolutely. And he won't. You know, he came out and said that he's not going to retire on that. And I don't blame him. He says, I can't let my legacy end like that. But it's like, bro, I mean, Alex Morono was not a top guy at 170 pounds. He was an up-and-coming, really young guy, and he's still a very dangerous fighter. I'm not trying to throw any shade on him. We will get to him in his future soon. Yeah. But I don't see you competing with these high-level guys anymore. And everyone in the UFC is high level. I mean, if you don't want to go out like that, okay, then take like a Bellator fight these guys that Michael Venom Page is fucking fighting, like only these cans and shit like that. I just don't see you being competitive anymore. You did not look very good in that Anthony Pettis fight. You definitely did not look very good here. I love Cowboy. I love you to death, my guy. Like, you're one of my favorites. You're a crowd favorite. Everyone loves you. Everyone gets behind you, but it's like, I think it's time. I just think it's time to hang up the gloves. And I would not be shocked if Dana has a conversation with him and goes, okay, maybe one more, but win or lose, it's over.
Yeah. And I think kind of the same conversation that Dana White tried to have with Diego Sanchez.
That's the fight Cowboy needed.
Well, it was.
Right? Because Cowboy's winning that fight, and then they could both retire. Yep. And everyone's happy. You know, everyone's happy because Diego loses, and it makes me look I'm trying not to talk so much shit. But, I just don't see him competing with anybody in the UFC. He says he wants to go back down to 155 pounds, and I just don't think that's the move.
No.
I don't think that's the move, dude.
No. There are killers in the lightweight division. I mean, killers all the way down the board.
It doesn't matter. You're ranked or not. It's just everyone is a savage down there. I mean, it's like who? Okay, name a fucking guy that Cowboy would be competitive with. I
can't. As far as top 15, I can't.
Well, he's
even
not
outside of the top 15.
Even that, yeah. I mean, there's so many guys like fucking Rafael Fiziev isn't even ranked, I think. And like that would be a horrible matchup for him at 115 pounds or 155 pounds, 150.
I knew what you meant.
No, I don't like it. Yeah. I don't like it. I have so much respect for the man. I really enjoy him. I enjoy his fucking fighting. I love everything about this guy.
I fucking kid you not, though. Donald Cerrone is still top 15 in the lightweight division in the rankings. How is that possible?
Yeah, I don't know. What's
Commenter just said that.
Okay.
Oh, well, I'm literally just looking at the list right now. I don't understand that.
Yeah,
he's checking you guys.
Yeah, no, that guy.
Thanks
that's
for
our
keeping us in
fact
shape.
checker right there, man.
He's on his
NW
shit.
don't mess around, bro.
Yeah. He
How
says it, dude.
insane that is.
It's crazy to me.
It's wild.
I really think they're going to feed him to a real killer like Azayatar Fiziev. Dude, oh no.
No, stop.
I hope not.
No.
I really hope.
would.
If they gave him Ottman Azayatar, dude, that'd be like just an unnecessary brain damage. Like, just don't. That's a horrible matchup. Like, don't get me wrong. I kind of would like to see the fight, but it's like, and that's what the UFC does, right? They give them these fucking legends, and they just were like, okay, you go die in there and make a new superstar.
It's like Alien, bro. Like, they use the legends as like a fucking incubator for a little alien. It just pops out of their chest. It's the same shit. Like, they're just building other dudes off of dead legends. It's fucking
like that.
brutal.
But I mean, you're talking about the gladiator sport, right? I mean, that is literally what this sport is built on. It's mano y mano, best of the best. And unfortunately, you do have to do that in a sport like this. Like, it sucks and it's brutal and it's vicious, but this is the fight game.
Yeah. So if you're a matchmaker, what would you do? I mean, would you
Cowboy?
Yeah. Would you go up to him and be like, hey, I think it's time, or would you give him one more fight?
I would give him one more, but I'd say, hey, look, I'd probably do exactly what you said. I'd be like, hey, look, one more, win or lose, we got to call it quits. Yep. Win or lose, because like, come on, Donald. At this point, you really think you're gonna contend for a belt? I know you like to fight, but again, and I'm trying to be respectful here because I love Cowboy and like everything he's done for the sport, future Hall of Famer, unquestionably. But what are you fighting for? If you're fighting just because you love it, there are other organizations that he can fight at.
It might be the paycheck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
It's like these guys, and I don't know if Cowboy is like. I mean, you see guys like Israel Adesanya. Oh, he's a wild man for sure. And he's spending money like crazy, buying fucking trucks and snowboards and snowmobiles and motorcycles, dirt bikes, blah blah blah. Just name it. He's fucking doing it.
And that's okay. So that's the thing too. It's like in this game right now in the UFC, you have to be on top of your training every single day. You can't be out, having fun every week. Do you think these top 15, top 5, top 10 guys are doing that? Going on their snowmobiles, going on riding dirt bikes and doing all this crazy shit every week. No, they're in the gym training. And I'm not saying Donald's not training. Don't get it twisted. But is he training at the same level as these elite guys in this division at this point in his
probably
career?
Not. No.
Probably not. And that's okay. That's okay. But just like at some point, this is the UFC. This is the hardest organization in the world, the best organization in the world for mixed martial arts. There are other organizations that would take a guy like Donald Cowboy Cerrone and match him up against guys that he could probably win with that would be competitive and fun. But I don't know if the UFC is still the place to do that.
Yeah. I mean, he would probably make way more money fighting for Bellator. You know what I mean?
For sure.
He'd probably make way more money doing that.
Or PFL, man. Or PFL.
Even then, I mean, you're not going to compete with the top guys, even in those organizations, I think. So it's got to be a money thing. Maybe he just wants to make his last few bucks and then just be a coach for the rest of his life. I know he's got so many people training with him at the BMF ranch. His ranch is home. And so he's showing these new and up-and-coming guys, and they're probably paying him. So he can make a career doing that.
Absolutely.
I just don't want to see the man. I don't want to see the man when he turns 60 years old not be able to complete sentences and like shitting in a diaper.
Well, you don't want a BJ Penn situation.
Yes.
You don't want a Diego Sanchez situation. Like you don't want these legends of the sport to turn into that because they fought 4 or 5 fights too long.
Exactly. Yeah. And it happens too much. I mean, this is the sport of fighting too long.
I mean, both Nogueira brothers.
Yeah.
One of them isn't
They're
Little
still
Nog
fighting.
still fighting?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Little Nog is.
Little Nog is still fighting. Like,
Yeah.
Shogun still has fights. Lyoto Machida just fought. Sometimes, like, it's better to just put him out to pasture. Because I feel like a lot of fighters, not kill them, metaphorically, put them out to pasture. Like, hey, Dana's got to pull the plug on some dudes. Like, what do you do with Anderson Silva? Yeah. It was the right way to do it.
It was the right move, too.
Like,
absolutely.
You can be upset, but he's protecting you at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, it's difficult. I think Cowboy is just one of these guys that maybe even Dana loves him so much, you probably just can't tell him no.
Yeah, and that makes sense. Like, I get it. And Dana actually does have relationships with these fighters. Like, people do talk shit about Dana all the time, but I think he does try. Like, especially with the guys that he likes. There are guys, obviously, that he has not liked in the UFC, and he has made it very apparent.
Yeah.
But I think for the guys that he does like, he really does try to give them every benefit of the doubt.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, I think we've talked long enough about his Cowboy. Yeah. What do we do with Alex Morono now? Because, I mean, he has gotten pretty good fucking victories in the UFC. I mean, he's been in the UFC a long time now, and people talk about how he's a young up-and-coming guy, but, I mean, he's had a lot of fights, and I think
he's still only 30.
Yeah, and like, I mean, look who he's lost to. Chaos Williams, first-round knockout. Like, okay, that's okay. Anthony Pettis, that is a little bit of a more questionable loss in my opinion, because Anthony Pettis has also been another one of these guys that has really fallen off from
did beat a Max Griffin though.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great win.
Zach
Otto, Song, like he's got great wins in his history. He had no contest with Nico Price. That's the matchup actually. Again, let's do a Nico Price rematch, because that was a draw the first time. So that's a perfect fight. If he wins that fight, he will deserve a top 15 matchup.
Well, and Alex Morono is not a guy that is losing 3-4 fights in a row. It's just, I still I like to give grace to guys like this who are like 27, 28 years old. They're still developing as fighters. Yeah, okay, he's got a little bit of a spotty career since 2019 to now, as far as win one, lose one, win two, lose one. But again, this guy's still developing as a mixed martial artist.
Yeah.
And obviously after that Cowboy Cerrone win, I mean, he looked great. He looked on top of it, dude. He was landing. And so, yeah, I'm cool with it. As far as what we do next, man, I like that Nico Price fight.
I really like that rematch. You know, why not? Because it'll probably be real competitive, and Nico's just a motherfucker. Well, you know, those two are just going to throw and fucking go to war in the middle, and I would love to see
anything like this fight this Saturday with Donald Cowboy Cerrone, with him throwing the way that he was. That's going to be a barn burner, and someone's getting their lights out in the first round. That fight ain't going the distance.
Oh,
it's not.
No.
So I like that rematch.
Absolutely. So it's set in stone. Nico Price. We
are matchmakers.
Well, I mean, we own stonks now. So
we do own stonks in the UFC. That's how it works. So
I wish we would have bet on this fight. It sucks. I didn't even know that this fight was going to happen. It was super, super last minute. I think it got announced on like the Wednesday or something like that. Yeah. So maybe next time this happens, we'll try to throw a bet out there on Instagram or Twitter or something like that. So because I would have loved to be able to get some easy church coin with Alex Morono, because I probably would have went all in on the guy. Like, let's be real. No offense to Cowboy Cerrone.
Of course not.
So let's move on. Neil Magny, Jeff Hands of Steel Neil. Dude, this was a great fight.
This was another one that was really good.
This was a real, and I would say it was a super close, because I mean, the first time I watched it, I almost thought you could have maybe made arguments Jeff Hands of Steel Neil won the second round. I did edge it to Neil Magny, and he definitely won the third, in my opinion. It was a very, very good fucking fight, though. That first round, he almost finished Neil Magny multiple times.
But bro, the pace that Magny puts on in his cardio is insane. I mean, and especially a guy like Jeff Neal, you want to out pressure him, you want to outpoint him, and that's exactly what Neil Magny did here. I mean, he you know, Neil was landing shots. When I say Neil, I mean Jeff Neal, and the broadcast was screwing
Neil versus Neil.
You say Neil versus Neil, right? But and it was funny too, because DC was joking around about that. He goes, "That sounds like a law firm, Neil and Neil," which is great. But I'll refer to him as their first and last name. But Jeff. He was throwing big shots, and he was landing occasionally, but Neil Magny was the guy landing more combinations. He was getting in and out of the pocket. He just looked like the fresher, better fighter. Not to say Jeff Neal was not gassed or anything. I was actually very impressed with the way his cardio held up in this fight too. But Neil Magny, man, I don't know what the hell he was doing his last fight. Who did he fight his last fight? I forget.
He got beat by Chiesa.
But Chiesa, that's right. And he was like trying to grapple him. And I was like, what are you doing, Neil? You're winning the fight on your feet. Quit trying to grapple him. Quit trying to go to the mat. But now I think he's got it back together, and he looked phenomenal against Jeff Neal.
He really did.
He really did. And he definitely won that fight.
And just the way he fucking skated around he must have watched the Wonder Boy fight. Yeah. It didn't work in the first. Like, let's be real. Hands of Steel was landing those power shots in the first. And Jeff, I almost called him Jeff Neal, but it's Neil Magny. Neil Magny, his eye was getting really swollen there in the first. So the way he was dancing around the outside of the octagon and picking and choosing his shots, landing nice little 1-2s, it was so fucking impressive. He must have watched the Wonder Boy fight, because that's how you got to fight Jeff Neal. Yeah, you cannot stand in the middle and try to pressure this man. No. You will get put to fucking sleep. And Jeff Neal everyone talks about his hands and how good his hands are, but he is surprisingly very, very good with his kicks as well. He was super impressive in the first round. It's just, there's something about that pressure, and it does chip away at your gas tank. I just think Neil Magny found a way to make it extend a little bit longer, especially in the third round, I would say. But nevertheless, I was very impressed with both guys, and I'm super happy for Neil Magny. What do we do with him now? I mean, he's a top guy in this welterweight division. Is he top 5? No. But beating Jeff Hands of Steel Neal, that commands so much respect, in my opinion, because this guy is fucking avoided by everybody in this welterweight division. So respect to Neil Magny for taking the fight. Yeah. And guess who he fucking wants to fight next? I almost forgot his name. Khamzat Chimaev.
What?
Yes.
He wants to go down.
He wants to fight Khamzat Chimaev because he has been consistently the only person calling him out. And Khamzat says, do not run from me, because now I'm coming for you at 170, my guy.
So okay, let me ask you this, though, as a hypothetical from a fan perspective. What does that do? Do you think that adds value in stock to Neil Magny's name?
Yes.
If he can go out there and beat a guy like Khamzat
Yes,
Chimaev?
just because of the hype behind Khamzat Chimaev. I mean, we got to remember, they gave him Leon Edwards.
Right. But and here's the question, because obviously Khamzat had a huge 2020, but obviously has been put kind of on the back burner all of 2021. And we do know MMA fans, they have a very short memory. Do you think any of that necessary hype has been taken away? Not from our perspective, because we're still hyped on Khamzat, but as far as like the casual fans or the people less, involved with the sport, do you think a little bit of that hype has been taken away? Do you think it still holds the same value as what it would have, this matchup would have had 6 months ago?
Probably not. And I like the point you're trying to make. Probably not. If Neil Magny was smart, like, I'm not saying he's dumb in any facet, but I mean, if he was really picking his matchups and being a smart fighter, he would not be calling out this man. But he knows if he is the first guy to beat this man, that will I don't care. It doesn't matter if he's ranked or not. I think it catapults him, and I think they start talking about Neil Magny maybe getting like a fucking Jorge Masvidal or, maybe a Gilbert Burns off a seed Wonder Boy Thompson loss or something like that.
Yeah. And see, that's the problem, though, with this welterweight division is no one's going to take a guy like Neil Magny. No one.
What's the point?
There's not, because they're all sitting.
Exactly.
And they're all like picking and choosing their fights. So here's the matchup. Either shit or get off the pot. Damian Maia.
Ooh.
I would love to see that fight, because obviously Magny struggled with Michael Chiesa. So I would hope his game plan would be a lot different, try to stay on the feet with Damian Maia. Well, I mean, Maia hasn't fought in quite a while. It's been about a year.
Yeah.
It's the last time he
I thought he had a fight announced, but
that's what I thought too.
I think it fell through or something like that. It's been a while, but I do remember hearing that Damian Maia was in the news cycle not too long ago. Yeah. I think he's one and done now. I think he's going to take one more fight and then he's going to retire. So, I mean, I think a Neil Magny would be a great fight.
I would like that a lot. It's a big name for Neil Magny as well, who's also a vet in this sport. It's been around for a while.
Here's another, or like a Vicente Luque.
That was the other one.
We're on the same page.
We're definitely on the same page there. The only thing with Vicente Luque is I almost feel like he deserves a bigger, not a bigger, I don't want to say bigger name, but I mean a higher ranked opponent. After what he's been able to do in his last couple of fights. Does Chiesa have a fight?
No, he's fucking, remember Usman's calling him out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
That's not happening. Apparently Dana put the fucking ends to that. He's like, no.
Yeah. Well, Jorge Masvidal's out for the rest of the year. You got, obviously, Thompson and Burns fighting. You got Edwards. Edwards is fighting
Diaz.
But
he's fighting Nate.
Yeah.
No, that's getting pushed back.
And then Colby, what is Colby going to do?
Fucking sit and wait for a title shot.
Colby Chiesa.
That's a great fight, and I would love to see it. And Chiesa did call him out. It was on. Remember, Chiesa's last fight, he beat Neil Magny on Inauguration Day, might I add. So that was just a double whammy with the call outs because Colby's a big Magny guy. So it was cool. It was cool. I love that matchup. But let's be real, Colby is just going to probably wait for this title shot. Dana's already saying that's the next fight to make. Kamaru's kind of playing games with this. He doesn't want to give Colby the opportunity. We understand why. They're not good friends. They hate each other. Yep.
And
I just don't know what's going to happen. It's kind of a little bit of in limbo right now.
I'm kind of siding with the pound for pound greatest fighter.
No,
in the
I
UFC
absolutely
right
understand that.
Colby's
especially
so inactive.
And look at what we're getting. Is it next weekend or is it the weekend? No, it's next. It's not this next pay per view. It's a pay per view afterwards. Gilbert Burns, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. If Stephen Wonderboy Thompson wins that fight, he deserves to leapfrog Colby and get that title shot.
But again, and then because of. It would have been Nate Diaz, Leon Edwards, just got postponed till next card as well.
And if the winner of that fight probably would have had a really, really strong, compelling argument to fight for the belt next.
Yeah.
So it's this, do we want to award a guy that is just sitting?
No, I don't think you can afford to with this division. It's too stacked. You've got a guy in Leon Edwards who has had 9 consecutive fights without a loss. 8 of those he won. You got a guy like Stephen Wonderboy Thompson who has won, 4 or 5 in a row now, who has been looking phenomenal. I mean, and Gilbert Burns obviously coming off that loss, to Kamaru Usman. But it's like, dude, there's too many killers in this division for you to just sit around and have one win and then just sit on that for a year. I get it. And I talk about it all the time. That Kamaru Usman-Colby Covington fight was phenomenal. 2-2 going into the 5th. Incredible fight. But again, I think Kamaru Usman at this point in his career is so much better, has improved so much. We don't really know how much Colby's improved. Kamaru could go out there and starch Colby in the second round. Mm-hmm. He could put him to sleep in the second round. He's that much improved. And I don't like seeing a guy inactive, and I don't think you reward it.
You know what Usman's worst matchup is? It's Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, dude. And unless he could take him down.
I actually agree with that.
Unless he could just take him down and dominate on the ground, which absolutely could happen. Which is almost why I'm a little pissed they didn't make the Colby Wonderboy fight in the first place. Colby is just saying, no. I just want to fight for the belt. Yeah. It is frustrating. It is frustrating. Ant W, shout out again. If Neil was smart, he would go fight out his contract and win $1 million in PFL. He's one of those guys that would need to be on an 8-fight win streak just to get a shot in the UFC. Absolutely,
I agree with that.
100% agree with that. Unless he beat a Khamzat Chimaev, I think there is enough hype behind that name to where if you get that victory and then you say you beat a Leon Edwards or you beat a fucking Colby Covington, you beat another top guy after that. You could be fight for the belt sooner, but I agree.
That's only if Dana matches you up with him, though.
Exactly. That's only if they fucking say yes.
Yeah.
And I think we've spent way too much time on
we
this
have.
already.
We absolutely have.
So let's go into our picks. I put 1,000 church coin on Neil Magny. I'm super glad. I thought that was just a weird that he was a plus 190. I thought that was just such a good value. I could not go against that pick.
Yeah, and I put 1,000 on Neil as well. So, no, I'm just joking. Yeah. I can't cheat here. I put 1,000 on Jeff Neal, and I lost that one. So it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Absolutely. Let's move on to the next fight. We didn't pick these fights. We'll skim through these. Maurice Green, Rodrigo.
Because this was basically just a domination.
Absolutely. And did you see that after the first round, or was it second?
Second round,
he threw a punch after the bell, and Herb Dean goes, "Listen here, motherfucker."
Well, but
I was dying laughing.
But Maurice, it was Maurice Green. He had his finger like this.
Oh, in his eye?
Coming in. And I thought he was trying to poke him. And that's why DeLima threw that shot at the end.
Okay. So I didn't see that part. But I did see that the Herb Dean, before the third round started, he just walked up to both guys. He goes, next time it's going to be a lot more. And then I'm just going to take a point. Yeah. It's going to be a lot more. You're going to get disqualified for that shit. And then he looks at fucking Maurice Green and goes, you need to watch your fingers. Yeah. So a little bit of dirtiness on both guys.
There definitely was, and they seemed remorseful, and they moved on, they moved past it. And it was a clean fight after that.
Yeah, DeLima just got every takedown. It got every takedown he attempted, and just dominated on the ground. So I mean, other than that, I think
there's nothing much more needs to be said.
Absolutely, Diego Ferreira, Fajeda. Actually, it's a Fajeda.
Ooh man,
Gregor Gillespie.
What
Oh
a
my goodness.
fight
This was a great fucking fight.
The pace Gregor Gillespie put on was unbelievable. I could not believe it. Those takedowns, he kept shooting and grabbing the leg. And Ferreira did a great job, or Diego did a great job of scrambling and getting back to his feet.
That was like, if you're a jiu-jitsu guy, that's what you want to see. Those scrambles were amazing and beautiful stuff to watch. You know, you got casuals going, oh, fucking stand them up. Stand them up. But dude, that was beautiful, dude. Yeah, I could watch that shit all day long. I was completely enthralled and entertained with this fight. And the way Gregor Gillespie was putting the pace on Ferreira to get him to give up, essentially. He broke that man in the octagon. It was so impressive. And I love to see the emotion afterwards from a Gregor Gillespie, because you know that win meant so much to him.
Now, hold on. Gregor Gillespie, let me tell you something first and foremost, son. You've lost one fight. One fight. And I get it. I get it, like the fact that he was questioning himself, I guess. But dude, you can compete with the best of the best. Don't even think for a second that you can't. Whoop-de-fucking-do. Kevin Lee had kicked you into oblivion, 2 years ago or a year and a half ago?
Yeah.
Who cares? Bro, you are a great fighter and can contend in this division. He looked phenomenal in this fight. I cannot wait for Gregor Gillespie's next fight.
Absolutely.
I cannot wait. The pace he put on, you know what? A testament to this guy's cardio, his durability. He got up at the end of round 1. If you watched, his eyes kind of rolled back, and he kind of did one of the stamina, like the stumbles, man. Like he was tired. And to be able within that 60-second period to get his wits back together and just go out there and dominate in that second round and look the way that he did is a true testament to the warrior spirit that this guy has. Gregor Gillespie is the real fucking deal, folks. Asterisk this name.
Absolutely. What do we do with him? What do we do with Gregor Gillespie?
Title shot. Maybe not yet.
Nah. I mean, I say, why not? Let's do Gregor Gillespie, Dan Hooker, or fucking Paul Felder or something like that. I think he should fight a guy that's above him.
I actually agree with that. I like either one of those. You know a name that sticks out, though, that no one else wants? Islam Makhachev.
Yeah, but Islam deserves to wait.
But no one's. But who? Tell me this. Tell me this, because I love this debate with Islam Makhachev. Everyone's ducking him. You got a guy like RDA who doesn't even want that fight. So it's like, who in this division right now? Charles Oliveira's matched up, Michael Chandler's matched up, Tony Ferguson's matched up, Conor McGregor, shit ain't taking an Islam Makhachev fight. Rafael Dos Anjos passed that up. So maybe a guy like Dan Hooker might take that fight, but Neil Dariush's matchup. So those are really the only options. I mean, Paul Felder's a bad motherfucker, so he would take that fight.
He already turned him down.
Well, there you go. So Paul Felder turned him down. Islam Makhachev, unfortunately, is just not going to get a top matchup. No one wants to take this guy. They know he's a savage. So I like that matchup. I got to be honest with you.
I'll tell you,
Gillespie went out there and beat a guy like Islam Makhachev.
It's not happening, though. It's not happening. It's like, let's be real. Like, Islam is not going to say yes to that. I mean, he would, because he's a savage. At some point, but he doesn't have to. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, he doesn't have to. But at some point, what are you going to do? Sit on your fucking hands for a year and a half?
No, because they're going to give him a Justin Gaethje. It's just, he might be the only fucking guy that would say yes. Like, let's be real. He might be the only guy that would say yes to an Islam Makhachev is a Justin Gaethje. And would it be deserved for Islam Makhachev? Absolutely.
I totally disagree with you. Justin Gaethje's not taking that fight.
No, he doesn't have to.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to.
But that's what I'm saying.
He fucking probably might. Like, let's be real. It's Justin Gaethje we're talking about. And we're talking about the Olympic level, I mean, not Olympic, all-American level wrestler. I think that's the matchup to make. Does Justin Gaethje deserve to just wait for a title shot? Maybe. Or does he want to avenge that Khabib loss, which would be an Islam Makhachev fight?
But there's nothing to gain there. What does number 2 gain from beating number 11? And from this savage that no one else wants to take on.
Why did Leon Edwards say yes to Khamzat Chimaev?
Because Khamzat has hype behind him. Come on,
Islam
bro.
doesn't?
Not the same as Khamzat Chimaev. No way. Not the casual fan
disagree.
eyes.
I wouldn't say the same.
Tell me how many people are talking about Islam Makhachev outside of you and I, people who are hardcore fans. Tell me one fucking casual who even knows who Islam Makhachev is.
Tell me one casual who knows who Khamzat Chimaev is.
It's like the Middle East. He has 1 million followers on Instagram. Bro, the guy's fucking huge. Khamzat Chimaev is huge, bro. Islam Makhachev is a nobody in comparison to Khamzat Chimaev. I think he should be. He deserves to be. But the guy is not a star like Khamzat Chimaev. He's not on the schmo every week. He's not doing all this shit. He's not hanging out with Dana on the octagon side. No, Islam Makhachev is nowhere. Not compared to Khamzat Chimaev. So I totally
It's
disagree
completely
with that,
overhyped, in my opinion, Khamzat Chimaev. I mean, it's deserved because he's got all the
know,
fucking
that's a
Dagestan
different
and all
argument.
that shit. But I mean, so should Islam Makhachev is probably, I wouldn't say he's not nearly as big as a star as Khamzat. I agree with you there, but he fucking should be, especially when you get those Muslim countries on board. It's shocking that he's not.
Right,
It's just
but
he's
to
in
go
a
back-
shitty situation. If he beat a Justin Gaethje, he would, I think.
But
I
that's
think
the
he'd be
thing, to
just
go back
as
to
good.
that issue. Like, Justin Gaethje isn't going to take a fight.
He fucking needs
from a guy
That's the thing.
who's number 11. Yeah, you might need to, but he's not going to. I mean, you could say the same thing about Paul Felder should take that fight. Dan Hooker should take that fight coming off a loss outside of a guy like Justin Gaethje, who's number 2 in the world.
We're spending way too long on this because we still got 2 more fights to talk about. I didn't even watch the Philip Hawes fight, actually. Let's just skip that one because I saw him dominate, I guess. It was pretty much 30-26 every fucking card. So he won. I didn't even watch the Nunchukwi fight. Did you?
No, I didn't. I didn't get a chance to watch that one.
Okay, good.
Oh
Let's
my
move
God,
on.
30-25 though.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the score. Hold on, what the fuck?
Jungyoung
Look at
Park
this.
fucking
Look at-
dominated.
No, I know, but look at the scorecards. So you have 30-25, 29-26, and then 28-28. What
the fuck is
I didn't,
going
I didn't
on
watch
with
the
these
fight, so I
fucking
can't
judges?
have an opinion, but
Yeah.
that is a wild scorecard.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
That's a wild scorecard.
That's absolutely ridiculous.
Holy shitballs.
All right, let's move on to some MMA news. Okay. All right. I'm sure. How many times have we said this now? We're going to say it every single time, and then a new video is going to drop. I'm going to be like, God damn it, now we got to talk about him again.
I know.
Joshua Fabia strikes again. Did you see the training video?
The
Spider-Man.
the Batman, like fucking hanging upside down like a bat while he's getting punched in the face. What
Dude,
in
that
the
was
hell was that?
Disturbing, dude. That was like some of the most disturbing shit. He was literally kneeing him in the fucking head as he's hanging upside down. He's kneeing him hard. Like, what?
Well, in some of those smacks,
some
some
of the
transparency weren't hard, but then some of them were.
He's
So it was
punching
like-
him in the face.
And it's like, and now this guy was like trying to get medical records of Diego Sanchez. I almost wonder if this guy was like purposely trying to give Diego
Brain
this is just my
damage?
opinion, okay, an opinion. But I wonder if he was trying to give Diego a little brain damage and being like, all right, we're gonna sue the UFC. I mean, what the fuck are we doing here? These guys are insane.
Aunt W, I love you for saying this. Sorry to break this up. Hamza has 2.5 million followers. Islam has 2.8. Poof! Islam is a big star, my guy.
Okay,
Islam is a massive star.
over in the Middle East, but he's not a big star in the
So is Hamza
US.
in the Middle East. I mean, maybe
yeah,
to the
he is,
hardcores he is,
But again, you're talking about America. Is it going to sell here? Is it going to sell? Is Justin Gaethje versus Islam Makhachev
that's how
going to
much we
sell?
hate Fabia. We're like, fuck it. Let's just move on.
I know, dude, fuck.
No, but yeah, I agree. But it is a damn shame for Islam. But back to Fabia, man. Like, this guy needs to be thrown in jail. Let's just take him. Either that or we need some fucking street justice. Like, the death punch ain't gonna work on everybody, motherfucker. Did you hear this Cowboy story? Cowboy said he had a story. One of his boys was at the bar.
at the bar,
And
yeah.
Fabia was at the bar. They're talking about how he's got this touch of death and he will murder anyone that steps in front of him and how fucking badass he is. And Cowboy's boy went, you ain't doing that to me, and fucked him up in the bar, apparently, and sent Fabia crying home.
Yeah, bro, the guy's a skinny little twat waffle. I mean, come on, dude. If anyone takes this guy, you know what's so funny? The guy has got a name called the School of Self-Awareness, yet this guy literally has no fucking self-awareness at
Yes.
all. And I know everyone said it; it's the common joke. But I mean, there could not be a more true statement. There's no self-awareness with this guy whatsoever. His training methods are bonkers bizarre. His methods of just life are insane, and in the ego that this guy has on him, he's like, I cannot fucking stand this guy, and I wish we would never talk about him again. And we do this every fucking week. You get me all worked up. I gotta go check my blood pressure. It's not good, man.
Well, be careful, my guy. I don't want you having a fucking stroke on the podcast.
Yeah, a week before our weight loss challenge.
Absolutely. We'll get into that later, hey. Okay, let's move on to some other MMA news. Did you see the Floyd Mayweather Jake Paul brawl? I hate talking about this shit because it's like so cringe. You go ahead and say something if you want to say something.
I'm so excited that we're talking about this. This is my favorite thing.
I thought you were going to say that you were excited for the fight.
Let's get the producer's take first.
Yeah.
First of all, I don't give a fuck about the fight. But if we were just gonna let two crews just fucking scramble into each other, just to fucking slap each other over a hat, this are the two crews that I would want to see do it.
So fucking embarrassing.
One, it's a hat. Like,
I know.
You're
like,
Floyd Mayweather. Buy another fucking hat, bro. How much is that hat worth?
Should have taken hundreds out and fucking tossed them on Jake Paul's face. Instead, you get your goons to fucking crowd the guy and attack him?
It's the fucking craziest shit. To fucking take someone's hat and then look them dead in the eye. I got your hat. And then run away.
It's some elementary shit. That's what that is. It's like these guys are trying to sell a fight, but is this really the state of boxing? Is this what boxing has become?
I think it is,
Yes.
It's such an embarrassment, such a stain on the sport now. Because it's like, man, like if you did this kind of fuckery in mixed martial arts, like I would lose so much respect for the sport. You know, and like this is what it is. We have the greatest boxer of all time getting trolled by a couple internet kids. Like, is this the state of boxing? You have
Yes.
some of the greatest boxers of all time, Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, and now we have, which Floyd may questionably be the greatest boxer of all time, but fighting a YouTube kid. Like, what are we doing?
It's sad.
What are we doing?
It's sad. You're absolutely right. This is the state of boxing. Like, this is what boxing has
sad.
fallen. It's such a fall from fucking grace. Such
we
a fall
all-
from grace.
and here's
Literally,
the thing.
the greatest boxer of all time.
Yeah, and we know he's going to win the fight.
Yes.
We know he's going to win the fight. So it's like, I'm not going to pay my money
Actually,
to go watch
I
it.
don't know. I won't be shocked if Logan actually knocks him out. Did you see how fucking scruffy that man looks?
Well,
The age is
but
not
maybe
treating Floyd very well
maybe
right
we're
now.
going too far with it. I was just gonna say, like, I wouldn't be shocked if they pulled some fucking weird
fuckery?
shit and they were like, "Oh, it's a draw!" Like, "Wow,
Oh, no,
both guys are so great."
That fight isn't going fucking 12 rounds or whatever it's going to be. That fight will be ended either by Floyd with body strikes or something like that. He will finish Logan Paul more than likely. I would say
Over
90.
under.
I
How
would
long
say
is this
90. Ooh.
Like, what are we thinking? Like, how many concerts? 8?
Oh, at least
fuck.
8.
At least 8 concerts, yes.
I'm not watching it.
I'm
I
not
don't care.
watching
I
it
can see
either.
the fucking highlights on the internet. I am
Absolutely.
good.
Not paying for it.
I am good.
So,
now, if Floyd Money Mayweather goes out there, hypothetically speaking here, and starches a guy like Logan Paul, who I actually don't mind. I kind of like Logan. Logan's a lot cooler than his brother. And if Floyd went out there and starched Logan and then Jake Paul, and then they set up that matchup between Floyd Money Mayweather and Jake Paul, I would do everything in my power not to pay for that because I'd love to see Floyd Money Mayweather knock out Jake Paul. But he's got to put on a performance against Logan because Logan is the much bigger fighter, dude. I mean, he's gonna be in the ring at 190 pounds, where Floyd can only be up to 160. That's a huge advantage. That's literally stipulation in the contract. So
Did you see the size difference when they were facing off?
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Dude, Logan towers over him.
Towers over him.
Yeah, it should be. It's interesting, not worth the money.
It's almost shouldn't even been made. Like, it's kind of a ridiculous fight that even someone's going to say this is okay. Like, under normal circumstances, they would not allow this fight with
No, they
commissions
would
and stuff like that. It's just, okay, Ant W, once again, if Jake Paul fought Fabia, I'd be rooting for Paul. Absolutely, dude. That is
would
the
I.
only fucking way you'll ever hear me actually rooting for Jake Paul.
You know, I would be wearing a Jake Paul t-shirt, and I would
would-
say, let's go, Jake Paul. Let's knock out Joshua Fabia. please."
Yes, absolutely.
The problem child T-shirts in here just
fucking going hard. I would pay money for that.
Children.
Oh,
Yeah.
we love the Paul brothers.
Before we move on to some real MMA news,
I love the
it's what it deserves. Before we move on to that, did you see that Triller is actually going to start coming after people that were not the people that were live streaming the fight illegally, but the people that were watching the illegal live streams.
Oh, cool. Well, we don't have to worry about that because we're a bunch of fucking idiots who
Retards.
actually paid for the pay-per-view. So go ahead, go after them.
Well, apparently they're going to try to find people. They're giving people a 1 week's grace period to, hey, you send us $55 and we won't come after you with 100 and...
Like you're gonna catch everyone who watched that.
I know it's funny how they're trying, but they're like, we're gonna fine you with $150,000 fine if you watch the fight illegally. Technically, that's walking into GameStop and stealing money.
This is what Dana White was talking about. Dana's
Yeah.
like, they fucking got him. That's what I'm talking about.
Dana's hitting
We're
up
rounding
Triller.
him up.
Hitting Triller, bro. He's like, hey, you got to let me know what kind of software you're using
I know,
to
'cause
catch
we
all these
want that
clowns.
shit.
Yeah,
Absolutely. All right, let's actually get to some real MMA news.
Let's do it.
That was fun.
it was.
Edwards and Diaz got rescheduled to 263.
Yep.
It is still on for 5 rounds. It will not be the co-main event because there are 2 title fights on that card, but it'll be a great.
If it's still 5
fight.
rounds, I'm cool.
It's
cool
not
with
going
it.
5 rounds.
No, it's not.
No, I think Leon finishes Nate by the second. And I was talking to some casual on Instagram today about it, and he thought I was fucking insane crazy for thinking that Leon was going to finish Nate.
Well, here's the thing. I don't think it's crazy, but what I do say is Nate, given what Nate is a tough son of a bitch. You're just not gonna finish him. I mean, yes, Jorge Masvidal looked great in the BMF fight, but he didn't finish him. That was a doctor stoppage. Like, it's really hard to go out there and finish a guy like Nate Diaz, who has some of the greatest cardio in UFC history, in my personal opinion.
I think-
he was a triathlon athlete. So
I agree with that. I think if that fight did go in 5th and 4th, or the 4th or 5th, though, I do think that Jorge eventually would have finished Nate Diaz. I think he was just looking that good. Like, Jorge was on a whole nother level that night.
Yeah, see, I disagree because I see I see the Diaz brothers when they get into those championship rounds. They got a different. You see a completely different fighter.
I just think there was that big of a skill gap between the two. You know,
and that's a good point. That's a good point to make. I mean, all the evidence would suggest that very thing. But man, you start getting tired, and the Diaz brothers are going to outwork you. They're going to outpace you inevitably. But again, Diaz would have had to get a finish in that fight.
Oh, absolutely,
regardless.
because he was getting dominated.
It's definitely a fair point to make.
Yeah. Well,
But yeah, I'm excited for it nonetheless, and I like the fact that we are going to get 3 5-round fights on this UFC 263.
Yeah,
I love it.
And 263 is fucking gonna be ridiculously stacked now. Like,
already.
that card is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
I can't wait for that. It's only gonna make it bigger. Let's move on to some other MMA news. Rumble won his Bellator debut.
Yes,
did
he
you see
did.
this? And he almost got finished in the first. Definitely shook off some of those cobwebs after
Yeah,
being 4 years off.
you could
and
say
he
that.
was very angry with himself after that fight. He was almost to the point where he was crying in the press conference.
Damn.
He was very upset that he almost got finished. And he's like, I know I'm better than this. And it's just, I'm
But
fucking,
it's like,
it
bro,
fucking sucks.
give yourself a little grace. I mean, dude, come on, man. You spent 4 years away from the fight game. Like, you got the W. You did the job that needed to be done, but like, you can't hang your head too much on that, man. I mean, 4 years away is a long time.
Yes. I got to shout this out real quick. Aunt W once again coming in hot. I don't invite casual friends over when Nate fights anymore. Took me an hour to explain to one guy why Nate didn't get Connor's belt when he choked him out. It's rough. I feel that, my guy. Yeah. I really felt that comment. But back to Rumble. I liked that there was so much respect afterwards because, I mean, he fucking flatlined Augusto in that second.
He did.
Dude, that right hand, he still got the power. He still has got that power.
Does.
I think Rumble might be the favorite after this fight. We'll see if he gets hit again, because that was something we've never really seen from Rumble. I've never seen him get wobbled like that.
Right.
I've never seen him almost get knocked out from a full check left hook, I would say, by Augusto. So shout out to him for that. But I mean, if Augusto's almost finishing Rumble, is he going to be able to? I mean, he's got Nemkov next. And Nemkov has got fucking hands, my guy. He's got legit dangerous knockout power. So I'm very, very interested in that matchup.
I'm telling you right now, Corey Anderson is a dark horse in that Bellator Grand Prix. Mm-hmm. He's a dark horse, man. I'm telling you.
Do you think Nemkov's going to be the favorite coming into this fight with Rumble?
Yes. Yes. I definitely do. Yeah.
I think he should be. I wouldn't
I
be
think
shocked
probably
if
like
it's
a
a
minus
pick 'em.
135.
Yeah,
With an
okay.
Anthony Rumble Johnson coming in at probably like a plus 115.
Okay, I wouldn't be shocked with that either. I think that's
I don't
actually
think they're
very
going to be
accurate.
crazy odds, but I think yeah. I think Nemkov will be a slight favorite.
All right. Did you see that Sergio Pettis is now the 135-pound champion in
Good for
Bellator?
him.
Good for him, dudes,
Yeah.
because it was super cool to see. He had his whole family there, his whole crew, and it was a great fight. Also, he almost finished Juan Archuleta multiple times in that fight, so super impressive with Sergio
Do you
Pettis.
have Showtime?
No.
God,
I was watching highlights. I know.
gotta get Showtime.
It's hard. I'm just going to try and find somewhere to illegal stream it. Don't come after me, Scott Coker. I can't afford $100,000. But you know what? I'm going to do it anyways.
Okay.
MVP. Did you see the MVP head kick? Before we round off this Bellator stuff,
I Did not.
Oh, dude, he fucking flattened this dude's nose, man. He threw a beautiful
the nose
head
kick.
Yes.
Yeah, and it smashed the guy's nose.
Smashed the guy, and the guy ducked into the kick too perfectly. It was beautifally placed. I've never seen a nose get smashed like that. Like it was
again.
Oh no, I hope not.
Thanos
because
glove?
He'd probably knock himself out with it. But yeah, that was a beautiful head kick. Very well done. Hopefully MVP finally gets a fucking guy that we actually can respect. Because, like, I would love to see him fight a Diego Lima again. Like, that was a pretty good fucking fight before Lima knocked him out. So, if he can get maybe one more win over a guy that's respectable and actually has a really good ranking in Bellator, I wouldn't be shocked if they made that rematch. Yeah. All right. Preview showtime.
Let's do it.
I'm actually very excited.
I'm excited to talk about this card, man.
Yes, very, very excited about this. It does suck that Nate Diaz and Leon Edwards is no longer co-main event, so we will only have one 5-round fight. But I mean, just look at the fucking card.
The card's still
stacked?
It's stacked, man.
Ridiculous. Shane Burgos, Edson Barboza, fucking barn burner.
The card.
Barn burner. Fucking Jack Hermanson, Edmund Shabazian, fantastic fight. Tony Ferguson, Benil Dariush, even Kayla Kukagi and Viviana Araujo. But then to top it all off with Charles Oliveira and Michael Chandler, oh my goodness. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
It's going to be a night of fights, man.
Yes.
It's going to be a great night of fights.
Fight Companion coming soon. Stay tuned. Make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube channel. We will be live streaming our Fight Companion. Very excited for that. Hopefully we get some great KO reactions because it's going to be a fantastic, electric night of fights.
You know, we should probably announce it too. You and I are going to be doing a little bit something different for this Fight Companion. You and I will be weighing in, literally weighing in on the Fight Companion. You and I are doing a weight loss challenge. You guys troll us each and every week in the comment section. We are a couple of fat fucks that could use some weight loss.
Hey, so if John Morgan can cover the sport, I fucking can too, guys.
That's very true. That's true. That man is a very large individual. God bless him. He does great work. And I think he's a great reporter, but nonetheless, big guy.
So fucking mean. So fucking mean.
Hey, I'm a big guy too. Whatever.
Yeah,
I'm a fat fuck.
John Morgan's just out here sweating like, fuck you guys.
He's like just sweating, just walking. Yeah, I love it. I love it, dude. I love how he's like one of the biggest reporters. Always the first guy at the press conference.
And he's always got like, I mean, they're always great questions, but he's always got like 6 questions. Like, is anyone else going to
I know, it's like,
to answer a question?
He took every fucking question I was going to ask.
Yeah, he's like, one more. I'm like, jeez.
Yeah, the guy's legit.
But yeah, he's great.
Shout out to John Morgan. Let's start at the top, Mason. We always start at the top. Main event first. Vacant lightweight title fight. Charles Oliveira at a -130 to a Michael Chandler at a +110.
You know, with this fight, I go back and forth. This is actually a great matchup because I don't know who's going to win this fight. I mean, you look at Charles Oliveira and how dominant he's been on this path to fight for gold, and also how dynamic and explosive Michael Chandler was against Dan Hooker. It's like, how do you see this fight shaking out?
I have no idea. I have no idea. If it goes down to the ground, I would give the edge to Oliveira. Obviously, you know, he's just got the most.
Especially after what he did to Tony Ferguson.
Absolutely. And you have to remember, he has the most submissions in the UFC, period. Yeah. The most. So, I mean, you have to give him
31.
the edge.
Like,
it's crazy.
I always thought like Charles Oliveira for whatever was like, 35, 36.
He's a young guy.
He's only 31 years old.
Yeah, he's in the prime of his career right now.
He absolutely is in the prime of his career, man. And he has looked so phenomenal these last 2 years. So.
And he's a big 155er too. We have to remember, I mean, he is super long and lengthy. He will have the reach advantage, and he's getting better and better with the striking every single fight. Yep. This man has improved so much since moving up to 155 pounds, and I think he is on the longest active win streak in the UFC, period. Crazy. Yeah. Crazy. I'm so glad this guy is finally getting the crack at the belt. But unfortunately, he's got Iron Michael Chandler. Dude, this is the fucking matchup, dude. Like, I'm happy they made this fight. I'm actually happy that Dustin Poirier is taking the Conor McGregor 3 fight because I might think this is a better matchup than a Dustin Poirier Charles Oliveira because I have to give Michael Chandler credit on the ground. Yes, I just said Oliveira has the advantage. It's just you have to say that. When you have more submissions than anybody else in the UFC, you have to say that.
It's a hard case.
But Michael Chandler is a motherfucker on the ground. When you see this man roll with Usman, you're just amazed at the things he could do. I mean, Usman has probably a 40 or 50 pound fucking advantage on the ground. Yeah, Chandler is just like a snake, slithering like a snake. All over the place, dude. He is so good on the ground. I want to say Oliveira is going to have the advantage there, but I will not be shocked if Chandler ends up on top and pounds him into the mat.
Well, and that's the thing, too. He's so explosive, especially with those transitions. It's going to be a matter of, can Charles Oliveira keep him down? If he does get on top of him, can he keep Michael Chandler on the mats? And
W, you're taking my shit every fucking time. I absolutely agree with you. He just said he likes Chandler in this fight. He has the physical advantages and strengths. Agree with that. Mm-hmm. Strength, speed, and power. Speed, yeah, probably. Yeah, probably. I think he's definitely got the striking advantage. And this wrestling is good enough to where if he ends up on top, I think he grinds Oliveira down to nothing. I think it'll shock people out how good he is on the fucking ground, especially with this matchup. And one, we got shocked at how good his striking is with the Hooker matchup. That was such a great fucking fight. And the way he pressured Hooker, made him go backwards and just put a pace on him. And he wasn't having to throw a lot of strikes, but the way he was just moving forward constantly, he pressured Hooker and fucking found a way to land the shot, the knockout power. I'm leaning Chandler. I know I was saying I'm leaning Oliveira, but I think I'm leaning Chandler in this fight. There's something, if he connects with one of those wild strikes, was wild, crazy haymakers, he's going to knock Oliveira out, I think. But Oliveira is so sneaky good, and he's going to have the reach advantage, so he could use his kicks to keep his distance. This is such a good fucking fight.
It's a great matchup.
I'm so excited for it. Yeah. I really don't know. I really don't know who's going to win the fight. I'm slightly leaning Chandler, and then you could ask me in 10 minutes, I'm going to go, I'm slightly leaning Oliveira. I have no idea. I feel like this is the Rose Namajunas Zhang fight for me over again because I didn't know what was going to happen. I'm just going to say my pick. I'm going to go with Chandler. I'm going to put 500 church coin on the guy. I think that'll be a nice little return. I want to put more, but it's just, like I said, I just don't know what's going to happen. I really like Michael Chandler. He's a great fucking guy. So is Charles. I won't be shocked if Charles gets it and wins the belt and gets it by a submission or if he finishes him with strikes. I just can't wait to see the fight, dude. Yeah. It's going to be it could be fight of the year, especially if it goes all 5 rounds.
Yeah, if it goes 5, definitely could be. I got to be honest here. Michael Chandler surprised the hell out of me. One of the few to ever be able to finish Dan Hooker like that. I mean, you have some of the greatest fighters in this division who weren't able to finish Dan Hooker. Paul Felder, Dustin Poirier weren't able to do what Michael Chandler did against Dan Hooker and did it so damn impressively.
And set it up beautifully.
Beautifully, yes.
It's so hard to do that, especially when you're switching stances to set up that left hook, because if he didn't switch the stance, one, he has to leap into the left, puts him into a bad position, but the way he flowed so beautifully, got into the perfect position to land that shot, this is going to be a chess match.
Oh, absolutely will be. And Michael Chandler is so explosive too. And as you said before, he's a great wrestler. But man, there's something I really like about Charles Oliveira here. I think his jiu-jitsu, we had talked for years and years about Tony Ferguson being the best guy, the baddest motherfucker on the mats. 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu. We can't wait to see what Tony Ferguson is going to do off of his back with Khabib Nurmagomedov when that fight was supposed to happen 5 times. And then Charles Oliveira goes out there and beats Tony Ferguson at his own game. And doesn't just beat him, dominates him. I mean, we had a couple, if I'm not mistaken, we had a 10-8 in that fight. Charles Oliveira has won 9 fights in a row. This guy is phenomenal. He has the most submissions in the UFC. I mean, at some point, you got to look at this guy and go, damn, maybe this is the best lightweight in the world.
Absolutely.
Maybe he is. Absolutely. And obviously, that's why he's now at this point in his career
find out.
Where he's fighting for the belt, for the lightweight belt. I like Charles Oliveira here. And honestly, I think if he can get out of the first 2 rounds, obviously, because Michael Chandler is going to be explosive, he's going to be well-conditioned, cardio, he's very explosive. But I think Charles Oliveira is going to take him down. I think he will submit him in the 3rd round. I have Charles Oliveira winning this fight. I'm putting 500 church coin on Oliveira, and he will be the new lightweight champion of the world.
Okay, here is a big factor in this fight. I don't think Oliveira has ever went 5 rounds.
Yeah.
So if this goes 4 or 5 rounds, you have to give the edge to Chandler because he has that 5-round experience.
And that's a fair point to make, but he has gone the distance as far as 3 rounds and did not look very gassed, especially against Tony Ferguson.
Especially in that fight, because it looked like he would have been just fine with a 4 and 5.
Right.
Correct.
Yep.
So I'm
but
just
again,
super
it wasn't
excited.
as challenging as this fight probably would be going into the 4th and 5th. So it is a factor at play, definitely. And you also have the stand-up of Michael Chandler, too, and that explosive power that you got to deal with, which is a little bit different than Tony Ferguson, who's more unorthodox and doesn't have a ton of power, but you don't know where the fucking those strikes are coming from. You know what I'm saying? Like with the spinning elbows and shit. So Yeah, it's an interesting fight, man. This is the best fight you could have made outside of Dustin Poirier. But, I'm glad he took the Conor fight. Go whoop Conor's ass again and then come back and fight for the belt next. But, yeah, dude, I cannot wait for this Saturday night. This is going to be a great fight.
This is the fight. This is the fucking fight. I love the co-main event, too. We'll get into that.
Yes, we will.
But this is the fucking fight. Like, I haven't been this hyped for a lightweight fight in a long time. It's just because, and I love Khabib. Like, no disrespect to him. It's just I knew what was going to happen ahead of time. Yeah. Other than the Justin Gaethje fight, I was on that Gaethje hype train. I was like, fuck, maybe his wrestling is that good. I was falling into the hype. I was listening to the fucking guys, and I should have known that's not what was going to happen. Just Khabib is just that fucking Khabib's Khabib. Yep. He was just that fucking good, and he even outstruck like the best striker in the lightweight division. So it's wild. I'm happy he retired. I love the guy, but this is opening up this lightweight division, and I just can't wait for the future. I just can't wait. I'm just going to say that over and over again. Cannot wait.
Can't wait for Saturdays. And not only that, but fight companions.
I know.
Are they not the best time, guys?
They're the best.
Are they not the best time? I love them, dude. So I'm looking forward to this Saturday.
Yeah,
let's move on to this co-main here. Tony Ferguson versus Beneil Dariush for the co-main event. Mm-hmm. Tony Ferguson coming in at a slight underdog at a plus 125, where Beneil Dariush is the favorite here at a minus 150. Tabor, how do you see this shaking out?
I hate to say this because I love Tony, but I think Beneil wins. I think Beneil has shown that not only is he an extremely dangerous striker, but he's got some of the best ground game in MMA, period. Yep. He's got that jiu-jitsu. He can fight off his back. He's got many submissions in the UFC. He's a proven guy. And I don't want to go against Tony because I just love him so much. He's without a doubt one of my favorite fighters in the UFC, period. Even though he is on this two fight losing streak, and it could be a 3 after this. I hate to say it, but I think Beneil Dariush is just better. Yeah. Like, I think he's going to be a better striker, and I wouldn't be shocked if I'm wrong. Like, let's be real. Tony Ferguson is so dynamic. He's so unorthodox. He does crazy shit that you don't see coming. He fights just like Jiri Prochazka now. I don't want to say he fights like Jiri Prochazka because Tony came first, but I mean, it's just so wild and orthodox. I wouldn't be shocked if he found a way to finish Beneil or even took him down to the ground and dominated him there. It's a very good matchup in my opinion, but I'm leaning Beneil Dariush. Just because it's just look at the last few fights he's had. Yeah. That Jakar Close knockout was amazing. He now has knockout power, and he's so good and comfortable on the feet. He's ready for anywhere this fight goes. I'm going to go Beneil Dariush. I'm going to put a 500 church coin on the guy. I hate to say that because if Tony is on a 3-fight losing streak, do they go the way of Tyron Woodley where maybe they give him one more, and if he loses, maybe it's time to say goodbye?
Who, Tony?
Yeah.
No, come on now. I mean, he lost against Justin Gaethje, who's number 2 in the world, and then he lost against Charles Oliveira, who could be the next champ. No. Yeah, I mean, if he lost 5 in a row. But Beneil is still a top 10 guy. Now, look, if he loses to Beneil in a very dominant fashion, we might have to start asking the question of, okay, now is Tony Ferguson an elite fighter, still a top 5 guy, top 8 guy in this division? But you can't tell the guy to retire. I mean, he is fighting the best of the best.
I wouldn't say retire. I'd say probably cut from the UFC. In my opinion.
Then that would be a great pickup for fucking Bellator or PFL. I mean, dude, because Tony Ferguson's not that old, man. What is he, like 35, 36?
Yeah, he's not that old.
Yeah, Tony's not that old. He's got a few years left.
I'd say he's on the tail end of his prime.
No, he's 37. So
yeah, he's on the tail end of his prime, but I mean, he's still got very entertaining fights left.
Yeah, for sure.
Correct. And this is going to be one of them. Like, if they decide to stand and bang, I'm going to be super excited. If they decide to go down to the ground, I'm going to be super excited. I just love me some Tony Ferguson, and I definitely love me some Beneil Dariush.
Here's the thing. I'm going with Beneil Dariush in this fight, too. I'm also putting down 500 church coin. Okay, there it is. But it's one of those things where I love Beneil. I love what he's doing in the UFC right now, and I'd be happy for him if he got the win. Obviously, I'm betting on him from a betting standpoint because I think he will win this fight. But if Tony Ferguson goes out there and wins, I will be so fucking happy for Tony. Mm-hmm. I'm literally just reiterating what you're saying because I feel the exact same way. I fucking love Tony Ferguson, dude. This guy's a wild man. Like, he's so crazy, and I love him and Eddie Bravo over at 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu.
Apparently, he's not training with Eddie Bravo anymore.
Well, yeah. I don't know if some shit
because those
happened.
are my 2 favorite fucking people in the world.
But nonetheless, like, I love Tony Ferguson, and I'd be so happy for him if he gets the win. I just don't see it against Beneil.
Yeah.
And maybe that's me getting off the hype train.
I think it's just a bad matchup right now, unfortunately.
Yeah, and at this point in his career. So, I'm going with Beneil Dariush, 500 church coin.
Alrighty, let's move on to the next fight. Jack Hermanson, Edmund Shabazian. Another great matchup, I would say, dude. Edmund Shabazian coming off of that loss to Derek Brunson, correct? Yep. That was his last fight. And he's doing it right because he isn't fighting, okay, I got to rebound real quick after that loss. He's taking his time. He's developing. He's still such a young guy. And he's fighting a guy in Jack Hermanson where if he beats a Jack Hermanson, he's right back in the mix.
Yep.
So where is Jack Hermanson in the middleweight picture right now? He is number 7. Edmund Shabazian is number 10. If he beats Jack Hermanson, then they're going to be talking about maybe Darren Till, something like that. Mm-hmm. Who knows? I think that'd be great. I think, or Uriah Hall. I mean, the future is looking good for Edmund if he can get past this big test in Jack Hermanson. If this fight goes down to the ground, do you give the advantage to Jack Hermanson?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. I think you have to.
Unquestionably. Yes, you do.
I think you have to. If it stays on the feet, I will give the advantage to Edmund, though.
So how easily he was able to submit Kelvin Gastelum, too.
Oh, that Imanari roll to the heel hook was beautiful.
It was beautiful transition, too. So, yeah, of course. Yeah, I give the ground advantage to Jack Hermanson, but I'm not taking anything away from Edmund Shabazian, dude. This guy is 11-1 right now, his mixed martial art career. And, yeah, he did lose to Derek Brunson, got KO'd in the 3rd round, but I have really enjoyed everything I've seen from Edmund. I think he's a dynamic fighter. I like him in this fight, if I'm being honest. I like Edmund Shabazian here. And how old is Shabazian? He's only like 23.
Something like
23
that. Yeah,
years
very
old.
young.
He's super young. Jack is obviously the more seasoned vet here, but I like Edmund Shabazian in this fight. I got to be honest. I think it's a good bounce back for him.
I think if it stays on the feet, without a doubt, he's got the advantage.
Yeah.
If it goes down to the ground, it's a different story. But Edmund's very, very good on the ground as well, and he's still developing. I believe he's like a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu brown belt or something like that. So he's almost black belt. So he's very, very good, very skilled off his back and everywhere. And plus, you know what? Edmund Shabazian's the plus 145 underdog coming into this to a minus 170 in Jack Hermanson. So Edmund Shabazian, he's the better value in my opinion as well. So I'm going to agree with you. I am also going to put 500 church coin on Edmund Shabazian. I can't bet against him at a plus 145. I think that's way too good of a value. If it was a pick'em fight, maybe I go, maybe I'd give it to Jack Hermanson just because I think if it does go down to the ground, it could be a different story. But I think this fight is primarily going to stay out in the feet. So I am also leaning Edmund Shabazian. I'm going to put 500 church coin on him.
All right. So is this a copy and paste episode?
Pretty much.
Okay, well, fair enough. All right, moving on to the Caitlin Chikagian, Viviane Araujo. I butchered that fucking name, did I not?
I do it every time, too.
I do it every time. Caitlin Chikagian, obviously, the favorite here at a minus 150. And Viviane coming in at a slight underdog at a plus 125. Tabor, how do you see this one shaking out?
Caitlin Chikagian, probably. Even though Viviane Araujo is a good value at a plus 125, I don't see... I see Caitlin Chikagian wiping out a lot of these girls and eventually getting the next title shot.
Yeah.
Eventually. Eventually you're going to... I'm saying it like this because it's like we all know it's going to happen when that happens.
Well, it's already happened before, and
Absolutely.
it'll happen again and again
yes.
and again. Valentina Shevchenko will beat her again. And it's like no disrespect to all these flyweights. And this will be a fun fight. This will be an entertaining fight. Obviously Viviane just went out there and beat Roxanne Modafferi. So this is a great matchup with Caitlin Chikagian being one of the number 1 contenders in this flyweight division. But again, I keep going back to it. Okay, so the winner gets Valentina next?
Maybe. I mean, if you beat Caitlin Chikagian, that gives you a title shot, correct?
Yeah.
I mean, what is she ranked right now at the flyweight?
Probably number 2, my guess.
Yeah, she
Number
is.
2?
Be right behind Jessica Andrade, number 1 contender. So, yeah.
Who just lost to Valentina.
Yeah,
So.
Viviane Araujo is number 7. Would you say beating Viviane Araujo is enough to give Caitlin Chikagian the title shot after that?
Bro, but the question is who else is there? Who else is there to take on Valentina again?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, so let me just go through this. Lauren Murphy, nope. Jennifer Maia, nope. Cynthia Calvillo, nope. Joanne Calderwood, nope.
Lauren Murphy, I think she has a matchup. If she wins that fight, she will probably get the next title shot. But let's be real, we know what's going to happen.
And sure, I don't disagree with that. But okay, Lauren Murphy versus Valentina Shevchenko. Wonder how that one's going to go down. Man, that sure is a pick'em fight.
Right, yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So it's like Valentina's just levels above these other fighters in this division. I don't want to start talking about Valentina, but give me a Valentina Amanda Nunes after this Amanda Nunes versus what's her nuts?
Yep. Yep, I'm going to go Caitlin Kukagian. I'm going to put 1,000 church coin on her just because I think she's, without a doubt, maybe the second or third best fighter of this entire division. I think the rankings are actually correct with this, and usually the rankings are bullshit. But without a doubt, she's one of the top flyweights in the world, and I think she's going to prove it. She's so good on the feet. She's good off her back as well. She has great jiu-jitsu. And she's going up against probably a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu savage in Viviana Araujo. So we're going to see. If it goes down to the ground, it could be very interesting. But I'm leaning Kukagian. That's just the work has shown itself. Her resumes, it's got great names on it. Like, let's be real. She's a very, very good girl at 125 pounds.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm also going Kukagian. I'm laying 500 church coin down on her. I think she'll get the job done here.
Alrighty, let's move on to the opener of the pay-per-view. Shane Burgos at a -125 against Edson Barboza at a +105.
God, I'm fucking
fired up.
Excited for this fight.
I am fired the fuck up for this.
Fight,
this could be fight of the year, if not fight of the fucking century, especially because Shane Burgos might be the toughest motherfucker in the entire world.
So tough. And that's even a testament to like Josh Emmett and how good Josh Emmett is. And I can't wait for that guy to come back in this featherweight division, man, after he's, done healing with his torn ACL, because what he was able to do to Shane Burgos was beautiful, a beautiful performance. But Shane Burgos, to go back to that point, is such a tough guy, man. This is going to be a great matchup. And he's fighting a guy in Edson Barboza who is tried, true, and tested in this UFC organization. How do you see this one going down? Do you think this is going to stay on the feet?
Yeah.
It has to.
Yeah, neither guy's a wrestler, so they're gonna fucking bang.
Ain't taking him down.
No,
but I was thinking maybe Shane might switch it up a little bit, try to go for that double leg.
He should.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but he should. This is the roughest fucking matchup he could make after that last fight. Yeah. I would almost argue, man, he took so much damage in that Josh Emmett fight. Maybe he should just fucking wait another 3 months or something. Yeah. I don't know how long it's been. It's been a while, right? Like 6 or 7 months.
It's been almost a year. June 20th, 2020.
Oh, really? It was back in June.
June was his last fight against Josh Emmett.
Wow, time is flying.
That's why I'm saying, I believe that was Emmett's last fight, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he should almost be healed up from that ACL. We should be seeing, hopefully, Josh Emmett here in the next 3-4 months, my guess. Hopefully. That's just a guess, but I sure hope so.
Man, if Shane Burgos beats Edson Barboza, holy shit. What a catapult that would give them, man.
Yes, it would be. It'd be a huge fight, but I think this is going to be a barn burner.
Yes.
I really do. I was kind of just joking around about, Shane Burgos taking him down. I think it's smart strategically, but I think they're just going to stand and just trade shots, man. Throw combination, head kicks, body shots. We could actually even see a body shot knockout here. I wouldn't be surprised, because
Edson's done it before.
Edson has done it before, man.
I think Shane Burgos is one of those guys that just goes in and tries to brawl, knock dudes out. He's got great knockout power. I just don't see it happening with Edson Barboza, dude. You cannot fight Edson Barboza like that. He will fucking piece you apart. Yeah. He's shown it so many times. He's defeated the best of the best at lightweight, and he will be one of the best at featherweight, I believe. This is going to be a war. If Edson Barboza's cardio can hold up for 3 rounds, it's going to be a great fucking fight. Shane Burgos' chin, I hope he doesn't get knocked out early, because that would be the worst thing for his career, but I would not be shocked if that does happen. I'm leaning Edson Barboza. I'm going to put 1,000 church coin on Edson Barboza. That the striking is it's too high of a level, I think, and it's going to be a rough fight for, really both men. Shane Burgos can knock anybody out in the world if he lands. Yeah. That's the big question. Will he be able to find that knockout power with an Edson Barboza?
Again, I love Edson Barboza, and if he goes out there and beats Shane Burgos, I'd be so happy for him. But for some reason, I got to go with Shane Burgos here. I really like his style of fighting. I'm going to lay 500 church coin down on Shane Burgos for the win at a slight favorite, -125.
All right. Main event of the prelims, Jacare Souza at a -130 to Andre Minuz. I probably butchered that last name, at a +110. So we all know Jacare Souza, just the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu savage, world champion, fighting Andre Minuz, who was a Contender Series guy, and he's on like a 5 or 6 fight win streak, I believe, right now. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, he's on a 6 fight win streak.
Wow.
And he's beaten guys I've never heard of.
What?
Bartzizo Fabritsky. I have no idea who that guy is, but you know what?
The tongue roll there.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
pretty impressive.
I like that. Yeah, so he's undefeated in the UFC. Can he keep that streak going? I mean, this is a rough matchup for him. I'm not going to lie. I mean, fucking Jacare Souza could finish anybody. He could finish him with strikes. He's got knockout power. He's got great striking as well, but he is a jiu-jitsu guy at heart. I like the value at a minus 130. I'm not going to lie. I think it could be worse. It probably should be a minus 200 in my opinion. Maybe this Muniz guy is a jiu-jitsu savage, and people are seeing that I'm seeing what I'm not. So I'm a little shocked he's only a plus 110. If he was like a plus 190 or plus 200, maybe I'd be leaning more, but I'm going to stick with the safe bet in my opinion, and I'm going to go with Jacare Souza. I'm going to put 500 church coin on Jacare.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go with this Andre Muniz guy after seeing what Kevin Holland did to Jacare. Yikes, man. And again, you start asking these questions. Are they past their primes?
Yeah.
Is it too much? And
was that just Jacare playing around too much? Like, because he was playing around with Holland. He didn't have his guard up, and I don't think he definitely was not expecting a knockout punch from the bottom.
No.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone on the face of the planet was expecting that knockout, which made it so impressive, because then he's even leaning Jacare back and dropping strikes where he's, his legs underneath his knees, couldn't move. That was insane. But for me, Andre Muniz, his last win, against the Brogowski guy, had a submission. I'm curious to see about this cat. I don't know too much about him, but at a plus 110, why the hell not? I'm laying 500 church coin down on Muniz for the win.
Sweet. All right, Mason. It's that time.
It is.
Guys, if you are watching this right now on YouTube, I believe we have 7 people watching. Ask us some questions, because right now is the time where you get to engage with us and get our feedback on stuff. And until those questions pop in, it is shout out time. So my shout out this week, it's going to go to Gideon, actually, because we have the producer cam.
A shout out every week.
Time, and he deserves it.
Cool
I
guy.
love getting shout outs every week.
Well, it's work.
It's the best part.
It's got to just kind of fluff up the ego a little bit.
It boosts my week going into it. It's like, I get a shout out. I'm moving into it. I didn't do a lot.
Now you got a camera set up. You're fucking part of the show, and we love it, man. It is a lot of work pushing the 1s and 2s, man. So we appreciate everything you're doing for us, my guy.
Absolutely. My shout out this week is going to Ant W. This guy watches our live streams every single week, and he is so active, and it's such a cool thing to see. He's got a bunch of questions for us, too, which we will answer. Ant W., where are you from, man? I'm curious, because I see the G. I wonder if you're from Georgia.
That is a Georgia G, isn't it?
No, that is.
It is?
Yeah,
okay,
you're right.
hey, I was right.
I was going to say Georgia or Green Bay.
Hey.
Grambling State, maybe? I don't know.
But yeah, nonetheless, my shout outs to Ant W. Thanks for commenting, and it's cool to see. So
yeah,
Georgia?
Yeah.
Is that what he said?
Yep.
Oh, cool. Nice, man.
Yeah, shout out to Ant W. So Gideon, now's your chance, my guy. Shameless plug. You are starting tonight, right?
Oh, there we
Yes.
go. Yeah.
So, new show, Take the Charge. It's mostly basketball. I'm fucking stoked to do it. We're doing it right here in the studio. I'm coming hot right off the gates. I'll just be honest with you.
I'm excited.
The show notes have me excited. The introduction music has me excited. Make sure you check out Take the Charge. Follow me on Twitter _Take the Charge _.
Okay. What are you thinking? How long your show is going to be, you think? Just depending on the episode of the week? Are you going to try and do like an hour-long show every time? What are you thinking?
So I'm thinking about an hour long would be kind of perfect for me. I tried to time it out as best as possible, and it was looking like 45 minutes to an hour and 15. It just depends on where I start rambling and how mad I get, or how mad I make myself.
Just don't get him started on LeBron. He'll go on an epic fucking rant, right?
Almost anything I'll rant on, to be 1,000% honest with you.
Well, good.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I literally cannot wait.
Yeah, I'm very excited. Well, Mason, I think it's... Wait, we almost did it. Ant W came in with a question. Dana White was asked what 2 fighters could be the biggest stars in 2 to 3 years. He said Dern and Vettori. what 2 fighters would you guys say would be superstars in 2 years? It's funny you asked that question because one of our big things on our award show for 2020 was the Who the Fuck Was That Guy award. And I believe it's this one.
It is what it is.
Nope, it's not that one.
My balls was hot.
It's not that one either.
That one either.
Who the fuck is that
There
guy?
we go. It was one of the
Third
buttons.
time's a
I knew it was
charm.
on there. Yeah. So we actually talked about this a lot. And my guy was Rafael Fiziev. I mean, if you gave me 2 to 3 years, who's going to be one of the biggest stars in the lightweight division is that guy. I agree. Vittori, it depends. Like, he's got to get through Adesanya first. If Vittoria knocks out Adesanya, yes, absolutely. He will be one of the biggest stars in the UFC, period.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's a big ask. That's a big ask. Dern, I also agree because I think she matches up very well with pretty much everybody in this strawweight division. So, yeah.
I've got one name here who was just recently reinstated back into UFC, but that's Otman Azayatar.
Yeah.
Now, I know a few people do know his name, but I mean superstar level. This guy's undefeated. He's a savage. I really like him. I think he has the potential to be an up-and-coming superstar. And the second one, I don't know. I don't know the second one right off the top of my head.
You know what? That should be the fucking fight they make. Otman Azayatar and Rafael Fiziev. Dude, I would love to
that
fucking
fight.
see that fight.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great fucking matchup
Yeah.
that would be. But, you know, I mean, you could say Tatiana Suarez as well. You know, I mean, if she comes in and dominates everybody, like if a lot of people think is going to happen, I mean, she is one of the best wrestlers without a doubt, period. If she can come out and finish everyone that they put in front of her, she without a doubt could be one of the biggest stars in the UFC.
You know what? My second one is Marab.
Merab, yes.
I mean,
Merab.
I
Can't forget that
don't
man.
think he'll be a superstar because, for some reason people don't get behind this guy. But if he goes out there, wins a couple more fights, wins that bantamweight belt, yeah, I definitely think Merab would be a star. He's got the capability. He's got the talent to do it.
Without a doubt. All right, I think it's time, Mason. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, at the Church of MMA. Guys, if you aren't following us already, make sure you go and do it. We're posting funny memes, clips of the show every single day. Hit us up.
Yeah, check out our YouTube channel too. Be sure to subscribe. Hit the smash that subscription button. This is the Church of MMA podcast. My name is Mason Knight. That is Tabor Cragen. And until next time,
Peace.